What's up, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. In this vlog, I'm going to be taking you through the three types of body types which we all have. We tend to possess different characteristics, different traits, different metabolism, different metabolic rate, different heart rate, different caloric intake. So all of us have different type of body traits and characteristics. Now, I'm going to be in this video, I'm going to keep it really simple and really simplified. I am not going to go into too detail of kinesiology, biomechanics, and other sports science, fitness, nutritional information. But I'm just going to keep it simple so that everyone tends to understand what I'm trying to portray in this video. What can you infer from my video at the end of my video when you see it. All right, so first of all, we've got the endomorph type, right? Then we've got the mesomorph, and then we've got the ectomorph. Now, endomorphs also called as somatotypes. We don't have to consider what is somatotype or what is endomorph type. Just take it simply. And what is it's an endomorph. All right. So before proceeding forward into all the three body types, let me just explain to you that how does a body burn fat. Now, fat is either it could be subcutaneous fat or either could be visceral fat. Now, subcutaneous fat lies just beneath the skin. So as you can see, when I pinch my skin, right? When you pinch your skin, the fat which tends to accumulate, this is called as subcutaneous fat. And the fat that is stored inside the organs, that is called as visceral fat, right? So after gaining knowledge about what is fat and different types of fats, now let's get into the detail of how does our body burn fat, right? So fat accumulates through excess calories, the type of food you eat, right? So basically there are different arrays and different categories of food, which mostly comes from, it may range from starchy carbohydrates to sugar to beverages, cold drinks. If you consume these foods in an excessively overrated manner, right? If you consume these foods too excessively and you eat them out too very often, more than once, more than twice, more than thrice, it tends to accumulate and get stored in the form of fat, right? If you consume these food, it may tend to store as fat. Now, fat, you will not notice it in a period of months, in a period of days, right? It will tend to accumulate over a period of time, right? So you will tend to notice some differences in your cheeks, especially your cheeks are becoming chubbier. You're holding a lot of water weight, that is called as water retention. You're experiencing some bloatedness around your belly, especially your lower stomach. You're feeling a lot of heaviness while walking, sitting, or maybe doing some physical aerobic activities. That indicates your body weight is pretty much exceeding above your BMI. So, two types of cells are there, right? One is known as the alpha cells, the other one is known as the beta cells. Now, alpha cells, if you start doing workouts, right? If you are a newbie or if you're a beginner who doesn't have much experience into the fitness industry, into what are the basic terminologies of training principles, weight training, or doing any sort of exercises, right? So you must know the proper form, the proper technique, the proper safety precautions, the concentric and eccentric motions of an exercise while doing any sort of exercise, be it bench press, be it barbell curls, be it shoulder press, be it pull-ups, be it deadlifts, be it squats, be it lunges, all types of exercises. You need to first ensure that you are wearing the necessary safety equipment and also doing the exercise in a correct form in order to prevent the injury, right? So as a newbie, as a beginner, when I was a newbie back when I was a newbie in around the age of 15, I also was doing the exercises in very inappropriate manner, which I shouldn't have done it. Now I regret that I was doing the exercises wrongly, and I was not getting enough adequate results that I expected to happen, because I was not doing it in correct form and correct manner. So obviously I was not bound to get results on time. And my goal, I was late in achieving my goals, and I slowly tried to. I got deviated from my track and got goals. And slowly and steadily, I made my mentality. I tried to learn the basic principles from YouTube, from science, from Google. I started studying basic principles of weight training, kinesiology, biomechanics of weight training, and the impact of diet, the impact of calorie intake, calorie consumption, reverse dieting, and all those basic principles and terminologies of fitness, right? So let's get into three body types. So firstly, we have got the ectomorph. Now, what is this ectomorph? What does this term derive? The term ectomorph derives from meaning you have sleeky arms, you have very tall bones, right? You are tall bones, you have elongated shoulders, right? You have elongated limbs, elongated arms, and elongated limbs in simple terms. And apart from that, ectomorphs usually have a very fast metabolism, and they have a very fast metabolic rate as compared to endomorphs and as compared to mesomorphs. And due to the factor that these guys, they tend to eat whatever they want. They can eat sweets 24 hours, they can eat cold drinks, beverages, starchy carbohydrates, chips, cokes, biscuits, burgers, KFC, strips, all types of food categories they can consume. And still the fat does not tend to accumulate in the body despite eating all these amount of junk calories into their body and trying to accumulate. So fat does not accumulate at all into their body. What happens is the muscle is relatively quite low as compared to the mesomorphs and endomorphs. They really find hard to gain muscle as well as fat, right? So what is recommended for ectomorphs in order to become huge, in order to become muscle? They want to gain size as well as strength. I recommend for ectomorphs to primarily focus on your calories. Primarily first focus on your calories, that you're eating in at least a minimum surplus of 10 to 15% above your maintenance calories. Make sure you're training very well enough. You're lifting heavy. If you're a newbie, I would recommend you to lift at between the rep range of around 8 to 15 reps. If you're intermediate, I would recommend go for over around 5 to 6 reps. And for advanced, obviously they can lift as heavy as they want. But if you're a newbie, I would primarily recommend you to please lift light weights and then progressively go forward, right? So the main things to consider is you have to train properly, right? You can take 2 days of rest, right? You can do 5 day split, 2 days rest, but don't incorporate the bro split. Bro split typically means that you're training one muscle per week, so the frequency rate of training the muscle significantly tries to decrease. So we don't want that to happen. So we can do is we can train each muscle group twice in a row, right? Suppose if you're training back and legs, then also you can train the next day, you will train chest and triceps. Furthermore, the next day you will train shoulders or maybe biceps, right? So one big muscle, one small muscle, one big muscle, one small muscle. So that is how you're supposed to progress in training. Diet, I would consider you can eat all sort of starchy carbohydrates, you can increase your calories, but I would recommend do not indulge in dirty calories, right? Don't tend to indulge too often into burgers, pizzas, or cold drinks, biscuits, cakes, pastries, donuts. Do not tend to eat that often, but you can have them once a week. You can have them once a week just to indulge in your cravings and satisfy your cravings. So that is totally acceptable, but going more than once a week is totally not recommended for ectomorphs. Coming to no I mean Where do ectomorphs excel? Right. So ectomorphs, apart from weight training, they can also become marathon runners. They are very good athletic due to their athletic body size frame, long elongated arms, small shoulders, but high fit metabolism, incredible stamina. Incredible stamina is one of the best traits which endomorphs possess. I mean ectomorphs possess, and high metabolic rate and high metabolism. These are the factors which ectomorphs significantly try to excel. So you can try to go out for sprinting, you can do weight training, you can do lawn tennis, you can do basketball, which requires a lot of stamina. You can also go for footballs. So these are the sports which you can tremendously increase. These are the main sports which ectomorphs tend to increase. Marathon runners, athletic runners, long jumps, short jumps, easily you can crack this, easily, no doubt about that. Now coming to the next body type is known as the mesomorphs. Now what are mesomorphs? Mesomorphs are literally, they are gifted, they have really good genetics, they have wide shoulders, wide v-taper back, narrow waist, and very less very less fat to muscle ratio, meaning that they have significantly higher muscle. They don't tend to gain fat very relatively fast as compared to ectomorph, right? So fat is gained in mesomorphs, but relatively slower, right? In ectomorphs, you don't get fat at all, no matter whatever you eat. In mesomorphs, if you try to indulge in certain cravings, you're bound to gain fat. So that is the main difference between a mesomorph and ectomorphs. Right. So due to their wide shoulders, the V-tape back and narrow waist, they tend to excel in sports such as rugby, powerlifting, weight training, and also a lot of athletic sports such as marathon runners, athletics, Olympics, and football. We have seen lot of actors, we have seen lot of celebrities who are mesomorphs. Some of the great examples I can show you are Mark Wahlberg, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds. Then we have got uh, what do we have, and so many other celebrities, right? So I don't recall all of them at one glance. So lot of there are many benefits of being an mesomorph. They can easily cut down fat by dropping their calories, and they can easily gain muscle relatively very quite fast, because due to their muscle stimulate response time, which means that if they drop calories, they will bound to lose fat. If they increase their calories, they will also gain fat. So that is the main benefits of being a mesomorph. You can be a rugby player, you can be a power lifter, you can be a mixed martial artist. But mixed martial artists, we often do not see a mesomorph trying to excel in. So these are the characteristics of being an endomorphs, of being in mesomorphs. Now the last body category is endomorphs. Now, personally, me, who was an ectomorph in my childhood, and significantly due to I indulge in bad cravings, I try to eat or consume a lot of sweets, beverages, and as a result, my body transformed into an endomorph. And as a result, I used to face a lot of challenges while cutting down fat, and while relatively I used to gain muscle very quickly. So the fat was only the challenge for me. Cutting down fat is a very big challenge and hassle where endomorphs often trying to struggle. You can do any sort of workouts, but getting abs for endomorphs is really a struggle, really a pain in the fucking ass. So that is a big drawback for being an endomorph. So endomorphs, what is the reason why endomorphs tend to gain fat very fast? Is because due to their slow metabolism and slow metabolic rate, right? So endomorphs, recover quite fast from the training, not as fast as compared to ectomorphs and mesomorphs, but quite slower, they're relatively slower than mesomorphs and ectomorphs. But endomorphs are often suggested that you train into the rep range of around 8 to 12. Do not go above 8 to 12. It's not recommended to go above 8 to 12. I mean, there are other YouTubers who say that you should go about 12 to 20, but I do not follow their advice. You can also go visit their channels and follow their advice. I don't offend anyone on this channel, right? So endomorphs, they significantly try to gain fat very quickly, and as a result they tend to be really beefy, they tend to be really chubby, they struggle with cutting down body fat. But however their muscle to fat muscle gaining time is very fast than ectomorphs and mesomorphs, right? So you can gain muscle very easily, even while training, even while doing any sort of aerobic activities, or maybe doing any weight training or powerlifting. When I was also a endomorph, that currently also I'm an endomorph, I used to face challenges when I was a teen. I used to face challenges of cutting fat. So I wanted to cut down fat. I was in a calorie deficit from the past couple of 6 to 7 years, and as a result, I ended up being a skinny fat. It means your muscle to fat ratio is very pathetic. It gets messed up. It gets ruined up. So the only situation is either you bulk up or you cut down. So I try to bulk up, and right now I'm in a pretty good shape, and I'm pretty much satisfied with my body, as far as I've recently taken my body pictures. I'm recently satisfied with my body, and if you're satisfied with your body, it's fair and good, well and good. Why not keep proceeding forward and keep hustling, keep striving, keep working out, keep hustling, guys. Now, where do endomorphs excel? What is the benefits of being an endomorph? First of all, due to their incredible strength, bro. Endomorphs are really strong. If you've seen the videos of Eddie Hall, the number one world's strongest man, the 7-time world champion Edward Hall, Brian Shaw, Hafthor B. Johnson. Then we have seen and crazy endomorphs like Morgan, right? JP Morgan. JP Morgan is not a stock market. I mean, he's a power lifter. He's from a Dutch power lifter. So these are the guys who have possessed incredible amount of strength. We have seen we have seen them benching girls, benching guys, benching dudes. We have seen them pulling trucks, deadlifting people, deadlifting 500 kilos. So due to their incredible amount of strength and not stamina, I would say endurance. Stamina is built really slower in endomorphs as compared to ectomorphs and mesomorphs. But due to their incredible strength, these body types significantly try to excel in these areas, and as a result, the endomorphs usually excel in sports such as powerlifting, bodybuilding, mixed martial arts, and judo. Yes, judo and jiu-jitsu, because due to the strong legs and strong hips, and due to the low center of gravity possessed by these body types, they significantly excel.